Attention, independent contractors, small business owners, entrepreneurs. I have an important topic to talk to you about. What are the top 5 professional liability insurance providers available out there? To find out, I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as superb as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today's conversation will revolve around the 5 best professional liability insurance providers. Professional liability insurance, what is it? This is the kind of coverage that protects business owners if clients accuse them of making mistakes that cause a financial loss. So policies can actually be tailored to cover industry-related risks. And the thing here is that we actually reviewed more than 25 of the top liability insurance providers, and we narrowed it down to the 5 best. And the one thing I want to say here is that sometimes when you hear the words E&O, it's the same thing. It's interchangeable. So professional liability insurance, also called E&O insurance, errors and omission insurance, or malpractice insurance, covers small business owners when clients claim the business owner did not meet professional standards by making mistakes, for example, or giving bad advice, or behaving negligently. And policies pay the business legal defense, including settlements and court-awarded judgments. What are the cost here? Professional liability insurance cost. Now, one thing you have to understand is that, and this makes sense, some professions are more likely to be sued for negligence. So professional liability insurance premiums vary by industry. Business size also is very important. You have things like employees and revenue. You also have coverage amounts. All those things play a part in your premium too. I want you to take a look right now on the screen here. We have done a little bit of research and we found some premium range. So you can see here on the screen we have a table, annual professional liability insurance cost examples. For tax preparers, the premium range is $550 to $1,900. For accountants, you're looking at $600 to $1,100. For real estate agents, you're looking at $1,300 to $2,100. For attorneys, you have $2,000 to $4,400. For hairstylists, for example, you have $550 to $1,000, and for photographers, $550 to $1,000. And one thing I also want to say is that to get the best professional liability insurance provider, we looked at a few things. We'll look at the financial strength of the company, because you want to pick a financially sound insurance provider, right? Because you want the company to pay claims if they occur. And so you have coverage options. So professional liability policies can have a variety of coverage features that can increase their value. So we looked at we looked at things like claims made policies, worldwide coverage, and defense cost paid outside of limits. You got to look at the online features. So we actually gave high marks to insurance companies that make small business owners' lives easier by offering online applications, chat features, and claims reporting, and other insurance policies. So offering other small business insurance can make managing policies easier while also minimizing the potential for coverage gaps. I want you to take a look at this short video. It tells you about our approach when it comes to categorizing insurance providers. Check this out. All right, let's jump right into it. What are the top 5 professional liability insurance providers? Number 5, InBroker. Our score 9/10. This is, in our view, the best professional liability insurance providers for lawyers. And originally, InBroker started as an online broker, but they have developed a proprietary professional liability product for lawyers. So attorneys who need quality coverage fast should consider submitting an application through InBroker. And the cool thing here is that quotes will appear in 15 minutes or less, and policies can be purchased online immediately. What are the pros and cons here? The pros: you have a simple application that returns professional liability quotes for lawyers in minutes. You have an online claims reporting and chat assistance available. Application can return multiple quotes. It's free, no obligation review of current coverage. You have a legal professional liability products developed with A&M Best A+. What are the cons? The financial strength, service, and claims process varies for non-proprietary products. Firms with more than 10 lawyers may be declined. This is something that we have actually found with InBroker. And the claim expenses reduce overall limits. And one thing that's very important is that InBroker's legal professional liability insurance is a claims-made policy that includes reasonable public relations expense incurred during a crisis event, expenses resulting from disciplinary proceedings, coverage for past, present, and future directors, officers, shareholders, partners, and attorneys, and you have coverage for investigations into reported events before they become claims. So if they face a claim, lawyers who purchase InBroker's legal professional liability coverage also have a say in whether or not the insurer settles. However, the insurer can reduce the payouts if the policyholder refuses a settlement that is both acceptable to the claimant and within the policyholder's liability limits. So what you have here is that you have to understand that you have on one side lawyers who really understand the whole legal landmine, if you will, and on the other side you have InBroker, which is an online broker, which means that it works with multiple carriers to provide coverage to small business owners. So that's the thing here. You have, and both parties are trying to manage risk. So if you are a lawyer and you believe that the InBroker can actually help you with your professional liability insurance, go for it, or at least give it a thought. Number 4, we have Hiscox. Our score 9.5/10. This is the best, in our view, the best professional liability insurance for beauticians and cosmetology services. Now, Hiscox specializes in competitively priced policies for all kinds of small businesses, all kinds. But its high revenue limits for professional liability make it a top errors and omissions insurance company for the personal care industry. So I'm talking here about barbers, stylists, and estheticians with up to $5 million in revenue. Those categories can qualify for the company's professional liability products with coverage limits up to $5 million. So this gives small business owners room to grow without having to switch carriers on this essential policy. What are the pros here? The coverage limits of up to $5 million available when you speak to an agent. Discounts are available for buying additional policies, so for bundling. You have fast online quotes. Short-term professional liability coverage is available. And you also have some digital features, so online chat, policy management, and claims reporting are available on the internet. And the company Hiscox has a great financial rating from A&M Best. And the cons: coverage only extends to employees, not to independent contractors. This is something you have to be very mindful of. You have to buy additional coverage for the independent contractors. And the policy is not available in Alaska as of the date of this show, and the defense within limits coverage. And one thing I also want to say is that business owners who get an online quote from Hiscox can see coverage limits of up to $2 million. However, those limits can go up to $5 million once a Hiscox underwriter reviews the application. So other professional liability coverage highlights will include things like The policies start at $22.50 per month, and this is available on a yearly, monthly, weekly, or daily basis, depending upon your needs. And the company pays for claims from work completed prior to the start of the policy. And they have deductible options from $0 to $10,000. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a convo about the top 5 professional liability insurance providers. Number 3, Travelers. Our score 9.5/10. This is the best professional liability insurance for finance businesses. And if you really think about it, I mean, Travelers has been around for a while. They are one of the best errors and omissions insurance companies for the finance industry, offering coverage to certified public accountants, bookkeepers, E&As, as well as banks and credit unions. And specifically for accountants, for example, Travelers offers professional liability that covers crisis event cost, pre-claim assistance, and security breach notification and remediation. So this coverage is, when you really think about it, can be tailored to your firm's unique insurance needs. What are the pros and cons? Let's just dig a little deeper here. The pros. So you have standalone policies and professional liability endorsement available. Coverage extends to current and former directors, officers, partners, and employees. You have online bill payments, claims reporting, claims tracking, and policy management is available. And they have a superior rating, A++ from NM Best. What are the cons here? They are suffering. Travelers suffers a little bit in terms of their digital presence. This is something they need to work on. So you have no online quotes or applications, no online chat assistance, coverage only available in 42 states, and collection agencies, mortgage and loan companies, and financial institutions with custody or control of customers' monies are ineligible. So this is something you have to really pay attention to. So according to the application, businesses with less than $100,000 in revenue can get up to $1 million in coverage with no deductible. Larger firms have the option of higher limits and can choose deductibles ranging from $0 to $5,000. In addition to that, Travelers' professional liability insurance for small financial firms includes coverage for things like defense costs outside of coverage limits, security breach expenses, claims over investment advising, crisis events costs like public relation expenses, and pre-claim investigation cost. Number 2, we have The Hartford, one of our favorite companies. Our score 10/10. This company is best professional liability insurance provider for business consultant. Now, The Hartford is a biggie in the industry, but when it comes to professional liability insurance provision, they are great. They are a small business insurance innovator that dives into industry trends to develop broad coverage and policy options that make sense. So key professional liability insurance add-ons for consultants include coverage for disciplinary proceedings and subpoena assistance. It also has, the company also has full coverage for prior acts for most consultants. So information technology, IT professionals in particular, should look into the Hartford's fail-safe product, which offers breach of warranty coverage without a contractual liability exclusion. It's called fail-safe product. This is something you want to pay attention to, especially if you are in IT. What are the pros and cons here? The pros. So standalone policies and professional liability endorsements are available. So coverage limits up to $5 million for many professions, up to $10 million for IT. You have coverage for prior acts, such as claims for events prior to policy start date are included. Online bill payments, claims reporting, and policy management available. And the Hartford has a strong rating from NM Best A+. What are the cons? Now, with the Hartford, you have no online quoting for professional liability insurance. There is no online chat assistance. The Hartford is kind of similar to the Travelers in the sense that they need to innovate digitally speaking. All right. And coverage may not be available in all states, and claim reporting only available through fax and email. And one thing I also want to say when it comes to the Hartford is that the Hartford's coverage highlights include coverage limits up to $5 million and deductible up to $25,000, extended reporting periods to minimize coverage gaps, prior act coverage for events occurring before the policy start date. You have cyber liability coverage, coverage for disciplinary proceedings, subpoena assistance, and you have reimbursement to clients for lost income and non-legal expense they incur in defense of a claim. Now, this is just a few of the things you're covered for. And one thing you have to also understand is that if you have the fail-safe that I was talking to you about, this is a unique professional liability product for technology businesses. Now, the key highlights of fail-safe is coverage for contractual liabilities that typically are excluded from professional liability policies, but the product also includes coverage for failing to prevent denial of service attacks, the DOS attacks, unauthorized access to or use of systems, network, data, software, or firmware, introduction of malicious code, malicious acts of rogue employees, identity theft, or disclosure of personal information. So both fail-safe and professional liability coverage for most other consultants can be purchased on their own or added to a BOP. Number one, folks, when it comes to the top professional liability insurance provider out there, CNA. Our score, 10 over 10. This CNA is overall the best overall professional liability insurance company, hands down, based on our analysis and our review. What are the pros and cons here? The pros: standalone policies and professional liability endorsement are available. Coverage limits up to $5 million for many professions. You have worldwide coverage for current and former officers, directors, partners, employees, and independent contractors. Online bill payment is available, and the company has an excellent rating from A&M Best 8. What are the cons? No online quoting, no online customer service assistance, policies may not be available in all states, and claim reporting only available through fax and email. Let's really dig a little deeper into the coverage highlights with CNA. Now, in addition to offering coverage limits of up to $5 million to many business owners, CNA features several unique options. And let's just go a little deeper here. So those options include worldwide coverage. So you have coverage for current and former directors and partners and independent contractors. I already said that. You also have coverage for trademark or copyright infringement, defamation, and misappropriation. You have pre-claim assistance, paying for investigations into reported potential claims. Defense cost actually outside of limits, leaving more money available for judgments or settlements. You have coverage for accusations of intentional wrongdoing until final adjudication. And the company also offers a professional liability endorsement on its BOP, and the coverage is less extensive though than its standalone policy, but maybe enough for businesses that are not traditionally considered professions like pastors, photographers, and florists. It's all about the risks here, okay? And you also have additional commercial insurance policies with CNA. And so the company specializes in commercial lines of insurance, and they've been a leader in professional liability for the last 10 years. So depending on your industry, you can also go to CNA for standard small business policies such as general liability, BOP, workers' compensation, commercial auto, right? And those are things that you can find with CNA. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about the top 5 professional liability insurance providers, and I have a bonus for you. So if you are still with us, I've got a bonus for you. Here are 3 additional specialized professional liability insurance providers we have uncovered in our research, and those are worth taking a look at. First, you have AIG. Our score, 9/10. Now, AIG is kind of cool because it's great for professional liability insurance for publishers and broadcasters. So, as a top errors and omissions insurance company, AIG offers professional liability coverage tailored to several industries. So, publishers and broadcasters should consider the company's media liability products that covers a wide range of professional liabilities associated with developing and disseminating content. And here I'm talking about everything from accusation of negligence and the quality of the material to infliction of emotional distress and outrageous conduct. What are the pros and cons here? Pros. So you have open perils form. In other words, it covers any event not specifically excluded in the policy. It is available on a claims made or occurrence basis, and the online claims reporting is available. And AIG has a best rating from A&M Best. An excellent rating from A&M Best. And the cons, there's no online application or quotes and no online help. And open perils coverage from AIG means that the provider is giving you broader coverage than policies written on a named peril basis, which only cover events specifically listed on the policy. And the one thing I also want to say is that AIG, in addition to professional liability insurance, they also offer coverage such as product liability, environmental insurance, management liability, political risk insurance, and they also offers personal lines and retirement services. So we kind of felt like it made sense to actually include them in today's show. I also want to talk to you about another interesting company that does a lot of good work, and it's CoverWallet. Our score, 9/10. And the CoverWallet is kind of cool. It's the best professional liability insurance for home remodelers. So if you are in that niche, in that sort of micro niche, if you will, then you might want to consider CoverWallet, because the CoverWallet is an award-winning broker that uses proprietary technology to walk clients through the application process and shop prices among the best carriers. This is one of the new kids on the block, if you will, in terms of fintech. They've been doing very well. In this case, it will be insurtech, not fintech. But CoverWallet has been very innovative, and we love them a lot. Now, CoverWallet works with multiple carriers. In other words, they are a platform, they're a broker, so they can cover many industries, but it is particularly strong for contractors, especially residential remodelers, painters, and carpenters. What are the pros and cons here? For the pros, online quotes are available within minutes of applying. Of course, they are a fintech or an insurtech company. The application often results in multiple offers and assistance available via chat, email, and phone. What are the cons? Services and claims processes vary by insurer. The financial strength vary by insurer, and you have additional fees that may apply depending upon the situation. And as a broker, you have to understand that CoverWallet, they actually operate as the go-between for business owners and insurance carriers. So the company itself, CoverWallet itself, does not sell a particular product. So working with a broker, however, does have its pros, right? One major plus is the opportunity to compare and contrast policies and premiums from multiple carriers. That way you can always get the right policies for your unique situation. And there are some additional commercial insurance policies that you can get through CoverWallet. So you have things like a commercial auto. You have product liability, environmental insurance. The company works with partners as prestigious as Liberty Mutual, Markel, and Berkshire's Hathaway's Guard. They have even worked with Chubb, Hiscox, and AmTrust. The third bonus that we have for you today, dear listeners, is the doctor's company. Great company. Our score, 8.5 over 10. This is the best professional liability insurance for physicians because the doctor's company, as the name implies, specializes in medical malpractice insurance and other professional liability policies for the healthcare industry. So as the largest physician-owned insurance provider in the nation, the doctor's company has unique insights regarding the liability risks and coverage needs in the healthcare industry. So if you are a physician, dentist, surgeon, and so on and so forth, this is an ideal option for you. What are the pros and cons here? So the pros, this company is physician-owned, so physician-owned medical malpractice and professional liability insurer, so they understand the risks and potential liabilities involved. You have insurance, risk management assistance, and continuing education classes available for members. They have a tribute plan that provides financial rewards for professional liability policyholders. You have chosen insurance providers of 6 national and 34 regional medical organizations, and they have an excellent rating from A&M Best. What are the cons here? So the online application does not return quotes. They have limited property insurance options, no online assistance, and coverage only available for physicians, surgeons, dentists, and healthcare facilities. And another thing you need to know here is that the doctor's company offers medical malpractice insurance for doctors and dentists, and in things like free tail coverage to protect policyholders after they retire, legal representation in administrative actions, cyber liability protection, and they also have errors and omissions coverage for practices with services that fall outside the scope of traditional medical malpractice. For instance, they have managed care, expert witness. In other words, they have coverage for managed care, expert witness, medical billing, claims review, and employee leasing. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to the final section of today's show. So what is the bottom line here? When we talk about the top 5 professional liability insurance providers, I actually give you 8, but I give you the top 5 and 3 extra providers that really caught our attention during our research. So one thing you have to understand is that no one is perfect, and even the most professional business owners make mistakes, right? So professional liability insurance covers you if you make a mistake and when unhappy clients file frivolous lawsuits. So professional liability policies pay claims, settlements, and other legal costs incurred when defending your name and your company's brand and reputation. It's very important. So I want you to take a look right now on the screen. What you see right now, we kind of have a recap here, the best professional liability insurance providers. So you have CNA, best overall. It's best for small to mid-sized businesses providing services directly to consumers. The Hartford is kind of cool for business consultants, particularly technology consultants looking for contractual liability coverage. Travelers is great for financial planners, accountants, tax preparers, and credit counselors. Let's just say the financial industry in general. Hiscas, hairstylists, nail technicians, estheticians, and other beauty professionals who want affordable coverage. You have InBroker, which is kind of cool for small law firms that want professional liability immediately. You have AIG, which kind of caters to publishers and broadcasters who need coverage for media liability exposures. You have CoverWallet, which is great for residential remodelers and other contractors working on clients' property. And then you have the doctor's company, which is a great errors and omissions insurance provider for physicians, surgeons, and dentists with additional operations. What I want to say here is that all these companies that we have reviewed offer professional liability insurance for all kinds of small business owners. However, most of those companies, they specialize in a specific niche. So if you happen to be in that niche, lucky you. But if you're not, you can still look around. If you don't find anything else, you can still go to a company that offers professional liability insurance in general. Even though it doesn't cater to your specific niche, they can still cover you. All right, so here is a recap of today's conversation. The top 5 professional liability insurance providers. Number 1, we have CNA, 10/10. Number 2, The Hartford, 10/10. Number 3, Travelers, 9.5/10. Number 4, Hiscox, 9.5/10. Number 5, InBroker, 9/10. And our bonus, we have 3 extra providers. AIG, 9/10. CoverWallet, 9/10. And the Doctor's Company, 8.5/10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.